We got more for you here on Thunder Live. When we come back, we'll hear from Thunder head coach Mark Dagnall get his thoughts on tonight's win against the LA Clippers. Here inside of Intuit Dome, and the Thunder got the job done. 128-110 over the Clippers, completing their series sweep over the Clippers this season. Let's get you over to the press room so you can hear from Thunder head coach Mark Dagnall postgame.
How about you guys clinch the one seed tonight with the victory? And we just see every year how critical home court advantage can be. Can you put into context what this means for you all moving forward to have gotten through the journey of the season and to get to this?
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. No two seasons are the same, and this season was a lot of different experiences. We obviously started really hot, and then dealt with a lot of missed games, especially in the middle of the season. It felt like 2 months we were enduring that. And this team, when you win the championship, that kind of like hangs over you, as a team the next year. Meaning like everybody, including ourselves, you judge yourself against that, and it's incredibly hard to be present in the next regular season. And I learned so much from this team because their ability to come in every day and just embrace the day and the challenge that we had that day and not look backwards, not look forwards, and just, like I said, attack every challenge together with a level of, zest and joy, is really impressive. And it's why I think we had the season we did. It's because they bring that kind of energy to it. And I think it's really hard to do, so I give them a lot of credit. They are really deserving. And now obviously we go to the playoffs, and it's a blank slate. This doesn't carry over, but it is good to have home court. And it's good to have a little bit of momentum from the season. I think we did a good job.
And then just focusing on tonight, against their pressure and physicality defensively, it seemed like the ball was pinging around, and in particular, Chet's activity and energy, the cutting, the running the floor. How big is that within his game to play off of all the playmakers that you have?
Yeah, I think, the whole team from the jump tonight was just really ready to go. We're on the second night of a back-to-back against a team we respect, that has played well in the last 10 or 15 games and longer than that. And the guys were amped up tonight. I thought just the tone defensively to start the game, offensively to start the game, there's just a sharpness to the way that we were playing. It was every guy. Obviously, Chet got off to an amazing start. But I thought Dort, his first stint on Leonard, set a great tone all the way through. Shai was off it early, activating his teammates. Dub was forceful. It was just, a really impressive showing, especially from the...
To clinch the top seed, it's even harder, obviously, to do it 3 years in a row, as you guys have. Just as you look back to the start of this thing, just how would you describe, I guess, the sustainable culture that you guys have been able to create throughout the years?
I think it goes back to what I said about the guys, which is, their ability to stay present in every, part of the season and every day of the season is really impressive. They're just a group that they don't skip steps, but they don't do it like, they're eating their vegetables. Like, I really think they enjoy together. I think the fact that they're so connected brings energy to every single day, and you need energy in an NBA season, especially season after season, especially, like I said, coming off of last season with a short off season. You need energy, to play the way that we have, and that energy comes from the guys bringing it and it bouncing off the walls of the room because they're together, and they lift everybody up, our coaching staff, our program. I mean, they're a really impressive group of people.
It feels like one of Shai's greatest strengths is not just how great he is, but how reliably great he is, that everybody can count on him to fill those buckets every time. Are there specific examples you can think of the way that's influenced other players on the team?
Well, I think, when you walk in the building for the first time, he's the first guy you're naturally going to look at. When you're a young player, new player, and you trade for Jared McCain. Jared McCain's his eyes are just going to immediately go to Shai. And fortunately for our program, Shai walks the walk on everything you'd ever want to be about. He's a good person. He's a great worker. He's obviously a great player, but he's self-made. He's unbelievably precise with his craft. He's into the team. He's hyper aware of his teammates and making sure that they're able to grow, alongside him. And like I said, it really puts the wind at the program's back when you've got a player of his gravity and of his, stature that is so aligned with everything you'd want to be about as a program. There's just no tension with that.
There's no this with him. Like, he's going to be at this level all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that, we talk about like, oh, he studies a lot of film, so I study a lot of film. But is that reliability something that players can emulate as a skill also?
It's just how consistently he not only works, but it's the intentionality of that. And it's the consistency with the way that he operates day to day. He's a very predictable person. He's got unbelievable poise and humility in every situation. And that includes off the court. He's a great dad. He takes a lot of pride in that. He's a great husband. He takes a lot of pride in that. He's a great teammate. He treats everybody in the building top to bottom with dignity. And the consistency of that, I think, gives him just an unbelievable base and foundation, so he doesn't really, there's not a lot of highs and lows with him because of that. And his level's obviously really high because of the work he's put in and the player he's become.
Yeah, great teams have great leaders, and SGA certainly a great leader for this Thunder group, who has now clinched the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, guaranteed home court advantage throughout the postseason. As we heard from Chet Holmgren when he was speaking to Nick Gallo earlier after the game, he said, you can never underestimate just how valuable that is, as the Thunder experienced last season, and have now earned that top spot for 3 consecutive seasons. An incredible earned accomplishment for Oklahoma City, which now you have to turn the page a little bit because it's got one more game on this road trip, the final game on the road for Oklahoma City, and it takes place on Friday against the Denver Nuggets, a team the Thunder is obviously very familiar with. And the last time they faced this group, well, it came down to the wire. It was a 3-point win for Oklahoma City thanks to this game-winning bucket from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Who could forget this set Paycom Center ablaze, this step-back jumper at the buzzer? The Thunder walk away with the win, and they have won all 3 games against the Denver Nuggets so far this season, but they have had to earn each and every one of them. That next game on Friday is going to tip off at 8 p.m. Central Time, and tune in 30 minutes early. Myself and Nick Gallo will get you going on Thunder Live pregame here on FanDuel Sports Network for the final road game of the regular season. But how about how the Thunder wrapped up the final back-to-back of the regular season, taking care of business out in Los Angeles, a win against the Lakers last night, rounding it all out with a fantastic win against the LA Clippers here tonight. One more game on the road for the Thunder, taking on the Nuggets on Friday. Until then, thanks so much for staying up late with us. Have a great rest of your night.